Hey everybody, it's Pete, and today I am showing you the new Osmo camera stand that I got in the mail. It comes in this box and it consists of 3 pieces, 4 if you count the nice branded bag that it all goes in. You have the stand here, this is the base. Then you have this piece that your phone actually slips into. It's magnetic, so this part right here slides right in just like this. And then your phone slips on here. I happen to have my iPhone 6 Plus, and that wedges in. There it goes, just like that. And then you've got the mirror. Now the mirror has a nice horizontal bar to handle the fact that different cameras are located in different locations. And that just slips right on top, just like this. Boom. And then you're ready to use the Camera Lucida app. Now, I found, and I think a couple other people found, that putting it up a little bit higher, like actually putting it on this box, and yes, I'm doing everything one-handed here, actually makes it easier to use because the distance between here and the drawing surface is further, so you can do larger art. You don't want it wobbling like this. Let's see if I can come up with a better way. Okay, that's better. I found the base from my old Osmo stand, the original one that came with my iPad 2 years ago. And it's nice and sturdy. All right, so let's actually go about setting this up so that we can draw. The first thing you have to do is to actually run the Camera Lucida app, and we need to pick an image to draw. That's always the first thing you need to do. It needs to know what the size of the image is and all that. So there we go. So I've picked that particular drawing. Yeah, I think I'll be doing that next. And now we need to go into the camera setup mode. That's hitting this little arrow right here. And hit the front button. The front button says go ahead and use the most commonly used setup for the front button. And as you can see, it sets it up so that it's pretty close. Those circles are pretty circular, but it's not quite perfect because if you look at the left side and the right side, pointing over here, there we go, they're not parallel, and we want to make them parallel. Now, I'm going to show you how to do that really quickly. You come down here to this slider, okay? And you can just stretch it out a little bit like that. And that's probably going to be close enough. But let's make it absolutely perfect. So moving this, there we go, left to right doesn't hurt at all. And if you need to adjust a little bit more, you can do this. Now sometimes you might need to stretch it vertically, or you might want to zoom in or zoom out. You can do all those things, but the idea is that you want these lines parallel with the side of your phone, and you want the circles to look like circles. They're not quite right. One of the things that you can do is to hit this question mark, and then go to this upper blue arrow, and notice this is the camera adjustment helper menu. And I've already printed it out. I even have it taped to my, well, I have it, here we go, taped to my table. And I'm going to save it to my camera roll. Now watch what I'm going to do here. I'm going to save this to my camera roll. And I'm going to exit out of these camera control menus, and I'm going to change the actual image that I'm drawing to use that image that I just saved to my camera roll. So now I'm actually displaying the adjustment helper on the screen, as well as I have the adjustment helper on the table. If I can get those two to be lined up perfectly, then I know that my drawing is going to be as perfect as it can get. So I'll go into the camera control help menu. And there's a little, where is it? There you go. See that little switch right there? That little switch says, take the image you want to draw and transparently overlay it on the screen. Watch. Okay, so what it's done now is it's showing you both the image that you want to draw and the live image on the screen. I mean, on the table. And now what I want to do is I want to try to make those circles line up as perfectly as possible. Well, first of all, it's going to take a little trial and error. I can just take my finger and drag it, okay? But you can see immediately the bottom needs to be stretched out more, and the whole thing needs to be zoomed in a little. So I'm going to pinch diagonally just to make it a little bit larger. Do you see how that lined it up already pretty correctly? Almost making this look too easy. Then you can take these sliders down on the bottom, which I just didn't hit, and you can adjust those. That's a little bit better. Oop, way too much. There we go. And there we go. And if it's lined up, but it's still slightly out, then you can just move the box a little bit. Oop, there we go. So it's a lot harder to do with one hand than it looks. Okay, so now I've aligned these things so that the image and the table look exactly right. And I'm going to hit the save button because I don't want to lose that. Hey, just checking. Would you like to save these camera settings? Yes, I would. That way, if I screw them up anytime, I can just hit the restore button and it'll automatically, boom, reset it the way that you want it. So now it's completely saved and those things are stored in the settings file. Hey, you want to see what the settings look like? I know you're like really interested, aren't you? So let's go into the settings page and let's scroll all the way down to camera Lucida. And I'll show you those values that I just set. For example, if you have an iPhone 6 Plus and a base and you want to use exactly what I did, if you come down here, you'll see there's this whole section here that says camera adjustments. These values can be saved and loaded using the app save and restore buttons or overridden here. So this is where it says default to the front camera, set the width scale, the height scale, the depth scale, horizontal offset. These are all the parameters that I had to program in order to be able to adjust for the height of your camera, the angle of your camera, the various sort of perspective adjustments that you get, those kinds of things. Okay, so, but now that that's done, let's go in and let's draw. So I'm going to replace this with a piece of paper that I want to draw. And obviously, tape it down, don't do what I'm doing. And let's go back into the app. There we go. And I'm going to pick the image that I want to draw, which was in Moments. There it is. Okay. So there's Bill Bixby. So, and you'll notice it said default to using front camera, so it's always going to stay on the front camera. So I'll hit the draw button. I can adjust this transparency. That's the shadow of my hand. And now I can draw the way I normally would, looking right at the screen and drawing like this. Well, I hope that helps to explain things. Thanks for all your help, guys.